Hello everyone, Sunsun.2, welcome to another fabric mod overview, this time on Powered Jetpacks fabric. A mod that simply adds in customizable jetpacks and a bunch of different things you can tweak as well in configs. So yeah, we'll just pull out one from random, say N tier, or sort of creative testing, lowest, and we'll try an in-between, like a gold for example. So we just want to charge these up real quick, and what you obviously need for a jetpack is simply the following ingredients: a basic coil, say for lowest tier, elite being diamond, advanced or ultimate. We need a energy cell, which you can see obviously the differences in materials and coils fitting there, which obviously not all of these are going to have recipes for the modded ones, at least that's not appearing. Let's see, you want a thruster, like so, an energy cell and so on, and then whichever coils and other materials, and you want a capacitor. And you've got yourself a jetpack, along with a leather strap. So, once you have all those, of course, you just put the jetpack in and charge it. We'll just charge this one up as well. And you just right click and it'll obviously be equipped, or just put it on your chest plate slot. So, as you can see, you've got a little display there showing how much is being held in there, energy capacity. You've got also the engine and the hover modes. Now to show the actual key bindings for defaults, of course, and the descend one doesn't have one. So we'll just rebind those. We'll just go engine, hover, and we'll just go right shift for descend. And if we activate this, you can see it'll now display said information. And it'll actually keep this when you actually take it off. It's not going to be like, say, a new one where it obviously happens to not have these already set up. So any modes that you've already got active, it'll keep that there. So if we just use this for example, real quick, you can see how fast we'll actually ascend. And if we use right shift, it's going to descend for us, which is more so useful for hovering. But if we actually hover, we'll turn the engine off, so it's not going to work. So you can see how much we drop with hover not included, and now with hover included it is like so. This is obviously the lowest tier. And you see the following stats of how much energy it uses, vertical, horizontal, and other sort of information. And if we go with, for example, gold, which is still taking its time, but still quite enough, you can see its different stats as well, of how much it uses and so on. And then, of course, creative or emerald will also represent the highest tier. So we'll just test real quick, we'll just enable that, and you see how much of a difference there is for a mid-tier one. Now if we go here, you can see hover and how close it is to creative mode flight. If we use right shift, it'll use quite a bit of power to have us descend while we're hovering. So there's that. And if we go to creative, you can see the difference there as well. So you can see how much we increase in speed, and by how much it's not going to have us drop down, because creative is pretty much similar to creative mode flight when using. So I can descend if I want to, but most likely we're just sort of staying in the air otherwise. And I just have to drop the hover, of course. As you can tell, of course, I do take 4 damage, so best to descend as much as possible, or just fall and then sort of break your fall with sort of just boosting a bit at the end at a low elevation. So yeah, in terms of getting power, Tech Reborn seems to be the case. Don't know many others, but yeah, probably the one to go with for energy. In terms of materials, I'd say it's also probably best to go with Tech Reborn in terms of resources, but you can obviously for some cases with copper use a mod like Crimson or Metal Supply will also work for compatible copper. Most of these other ones, like Invar and so on, are mostly part of Tech Reborn, but I haven't got the actual materials and otherwise sort of working there. So yeah, wrong one. In terms of configs though, you can actually enable or disable the ability for these to, I guess, be visible or actually have the compatibility, I guess. So for bronze, for example, here we've got a bronze jetpack or bronze material, enabled or disabled accessibility of it, because obviously you can tell that it's still possible to see it there. It's not completely disabling it from being visible, but yes, you can enable the actual compatibility of what material is going to be used for the crafting, I guess. So we could use any bronze ingots from Tech Reborn or another fabric mod. You can change the armor points, enchantability, and more. And any of the advanced stats, of course, that is part of the tooltip. So this stuff here, obviously, that says fuel usage and more. If we go back, obviously you can see that you can configure any of the modded metals or any of the vanilla stats however you wish, of course, and what materials used and so on. So you could swap out for logs if you wanted instead of planks and any other stats. Or for client configs, you've got the ability to enable or disable jetpack sounds, particles, info tooltips, so the advanced ones that shows all the fuel usage and otherwise. You've got the positioning of where it is presented on screen, the ability to enable or disable, the offset of where it's going to be positioned, and then you've got the HUD showing over chat. So yeah, in terms of, I assume, positioning, for the most part there. And yeah, you've also got the ability in common to make jetpacks enchantable, similar to armor. You can also enable or disable recipe components as well. So if you don't want cells, thrusters, or capacitors, or even jetpack recipes to even be the default, I guess, then there's that. So you can simplify the recipes or make them have more requirements as much as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.